Okay, so let's say we have an equation like this, and we're not in the nice, neat formula where we have x minus h squared and y minus k squared is equal to our r squared. Well, go back in your memory banks as to whether when we were doing factoring and how we had, say, x minus h squared would be the same thing as x minus h times x minus h, and that is going to give us x squared minus 2hx plus h squared. This was our formula for the product of sums and differences. And it said that basically any time you have something where it's x minus a squared, you were always going to end up with an x squared minus 2ax plus a squared. And we also had x plus a squared, because there's my sums, and that told us that you always had x squared plus 2ax plus a squared. So let's look at some examples and think about this for a minute. Let's say we have x plus 2 squared. Well, if I multiply that out, that's like saying x plus 2 times x plus 2, and that's going to give me x squared plus 4x plus 4. And likewise, if I had x minus 4 squared, that was the same as x minus 4 times x minus 4, which is going to give me, y squared minus 8y plus 16. Let's do another one. What if we had x minus 3 squared? We get x minus 3 times x minus 3, which is going to give me x squared minus 6x plus 9. Notice the pattern here, that this is always squared, which gives you the 9, and this is always double, which gives you the 6. So let's use that and make it a perfect square so that we can put it into our equation. Remember this, if I wanted to rewrite this section, we'll work with this section first, and I said that x squared minus 8x plus something, okay, the middle number was double, so let's divide it by 2, so that's going to give me 4, and this second number was always the square of that number, so I would add 16. Now don't forget that if we add 16 to one side, we're going to add 16 to the other side. Now we can do the same thing with this equation. Alright, so since this middle number was always, we're going to add something here. Since this middle number was always double, we divide by 2, which is going to give me 1, and then 1 squared is going to give me 1. And since I added 1 to that side, I'm going to add 1 to the other side as well. So now I can take both of these and rewrite them as factors. Well, x minus 8x plus 16 is going to give me x minus 4 squared. And if I look at this equation here, I can say that y plus 1 squared is the same thing. Now when I combine all my like terms on the other side, I get 16 minus 8, which gives me 8, plus 1, which is going to give me 9. And now my equation is in the standard form for a circle. I can tell you that my center is going to be at 4, negative 1, and I have a radius of 3. Okay, let's try one more. Here I got a whole bunch of stuff on one side. X squared plus y squared plus 8x minus 14y plus 40 equals 0. let's regroup everything first so that I can get it at least sort of in the right direction of the standard form of the circle. So that means I'm going to subtract 40 from each side. Okay, and I'm going to combine or move my like terms to be next to each other, or like variables. So when I rewrite it, I get that x squared plus 8x plus y squared minus 14y is going to equal negative 40. Once again, I don't have anything in that perfect, pretty little product or sum of difference, so I need to get it to that. So let's start with the x's. So I have x squared plus 8x plus something, okay? And then I'm going to have plus y squared minus 14y plus something. And then all of that is going to be equal to the negative 40. All right, well, let's work with the x's first. Remember, this middle number is doubled, so if I divide it by 2, that's going to give me 4, and 4 squared then is going to give me 16. So I need to add that to the other side as well. Now let's work on our green. So since this is going to be doubled, I divide by 2. That gives me 7. 7 squared gives me 49. I add 49 to the other side as well. And now I can simplify. So x squared plus 8x plus 16 is going to factor into x plus 4 squared. My y squared minus 14y plus 49 is going to factor into y minus 7 squared. And then my other side is going to equal, see, 49 minus 40 gives me 9, 16 and 9 gives me 25. And so now I have my equation. And I can tell that my center is at negative 4 and 7, and I have a radius of 5.